When I was 10 years old, I saw my friend playing a mobile game on his iPad.
Hey, what you playing there?
Oh, it's Geometry Dash. And my first thoughts were, what is this? This just looks like a ripoff of the Impossible game, but 100 times better. Geometry Dash looked much more vibrant. There were better details. It just seemed like a big upgrade from the original.
No way, the cube has a face now? That wasn't in the Impossible game. This is awesome.
I downloaded Geometry Dash right away on my iPod, and little did I know that this singular decision would change the entire trajectory of my life. This is the story of how Geometry Dash helped me reach my dreams. And back when I was 10 years old, I was absolutely hooked on this game. I didn't own an Xbox or a PC or anything. All we had was a Wii, and I hated it. Hot take, I know, but the motion controls sucked. So I ended up mostly gaming on my phone throughout my childhood. And for those of you who don't know, finding good mobile games back then was kind of like gambling. Bad, garbage,
What the fuck?
bad. There's just so much trash in the App Store. It was pretty rare to find something even halfway decent. So when I discovered arguably the greatest mobile game of all time at such an early age, it was like finding the One Piece of mobile games, okay? I remember I beat the first 2 levels, Stereo Madness and Back on Track, no freaking problem. But Polargeist? 10-year-old me could not beat it. And what made this worse was back in the day, I refused to use practice mode. That was for pussies. And I want to listen to the song. Polargeist, in the grand scheme of things, isn't really that hard of a level. I mean, it's like the 3rd drop top level out of like 20. But I don't know, something about that click pattern just didn't click with me. I also just naturally sucked at video games as well. Like, God nerfed my ability to press buttons at the correct time, I guess. And this was absolutely not the case for my little brother. I'm pretty confident that my little brother stole all of the gaming genes from my family. We all suck at video games, except him. And imagine how I felt when this little dork was out geometry dashing me. I'm 4 years older than him, so why is he so good at this game? Fuck you.
So good.
I remember he flew through Dry Out, Can't Let Go, and Jumper while I was still stuck on Polargeist. But I had a genius idea back in the day. I'm the older brother, right? So using my older brother powers, I forced him to beat Polargeist for me. Nice. I kept grinding the game throughout elementary school, still just grinding the Rob Top levels, raging on the, very frequent occasion. I was an angry kid back in the day, okay? But as you may all already know, Geometry Dash is a single player game. I was grinding the game alone at the time. My little brother already moved on to Minecraft, that traitor, but this was actually all about to change. One day, as I was walking into the bus to go to school, I noticed another kid, and guess what he was playing? It was Geometry Dash! Oh my god, another kid with the same interests as me? His name was Jeng, who some of you might recognize from older videos. I peeked over his shoulder, and immediately, any chance of a wholesome moment completely disappeared. You would think that a 10-year-old who finally met another person with similar interests would be happy with this social encounter. But no, because I was stuck on Time Machine at the time. These triple spikes made me fucking depressed. And when I glanced at Jang's screen, I saw that he was playing Clutterfunk, which was 2 entire levels past where I was. I was furious. Why is everybody better than me at this game? So instantly, a rivalry was born. Twisted versus Jeng. Well, it was a one-sided rivalry. Jeng had no idea, but it was important to me, okay? I wasn't allowed to bring my iPod Touch to school at the time, so I would always be watching him play on the bus to and from school. I was low-key hate watching, like, please fuck up, please fuck up, please fuck up. And if you couldn't guess by now, throughout our time in elementary school, Jeng was always better than me. And on one particular morning, I remembered the exact date too. November 9th, 2014. I got on the bus and Jeng says, "Yo, Twisted, huge Geometry Dash update just dropped. There's 2 new levels, blast processing and theory of everything too. There's custom songs now and a brand new game mode, the Wave." This was update 1.9. And I was so excited, I couldn't even pay attention to class. I mean, I was in elementary school. Is there really anything I gotta pay attention to anyways? After school, I got home, I ran into my room where my iPod Touch was, downloaded the update, and I waited until the game loaded. I loaded up the new level, blast processing, but I noticed something strange. My entire game was lagging so bad to the point where it was basically unplayable. Even Stereo Madness was lagging. I remember the feeling as a kid. It was like a sinking feeling because you can't unupdate a game on mobile. I cried a little. So actually, during the 1.9 era, I was forced to quit Geometry Dash for almost an entire year. Fast forward about a year later and my parents gave me their hand-me-down MacBook. And literally the first thing I did was download Steam, then download Geometry Dash. We are back on the grind, baby! The Steam version of the game is pretty much exactly the same as the mobile version, except for two very important things. There was significantly less input delay on the Steam version, which gave me a massive skill boost. Even on a 60Hz monitor, which was what I was rocking at the time, it was still very noticeable. And the second reason why the Steam version was better than mobile was because of hotkeys, specifically in the level editor. Back when I played Geometry Dash on mobile, I pretty much never clicked this button. I had some interest in making levels back in the day, but I never actually committed to making anything too big. That all changed when I started playing on Steam, and my God, this is like a game within the game. I remember spending hours just working on block designs in the editor. This doesn't look quite right. For those of you who don't know, the Geometry Dash editor is actually pretty damn complicated. There are pages and pages and pages of objects. You need to learn what these triggers do. And for some reason, there's like 4 menu pages and they're all important. It's basically a requirement to watch a YouTube video or something in order to learn it because there is no in-game tutorial. Anyways, I'm sure you guys are all wondering what kind of masterpiece I created when I was like 13 years old. So I'm gonna show you guys my masterpiece. This is Fairy Cave by Twisted51. Okay, I know this is glow spam slop, but I was proud of this when I was a kid, okay? But as I was making Geometry Dash levels, learning about the basic fundamentals like filling in the negative space, planning before creating, don't do whatever this is, I was slowly developing an artistic eye of sorts. I was getting a sense of what looks good, what looks like shit, what I could do to make it look a little bit better, and all of those skills will eventually come full circle in my life. And super off topic, but I remember seeing a video about how Geometry Dash teaches you like grit and determination. Yeah, not me. Honestly, I don't think this applies to most people. The grit I got from playing Geometry Dash definitely did not translate to other parts of my life, alright? I'm still a chud. But the skills I got from creating levels actually did translate to other parts of my life. I didn't know it at the time, but this was probably one of the most important things to have ever happened to me. I slowly stopped creating levels after a couple of years and slowly stopped playing the game altogether in 2020. But all of those hours creating levels, the blood, sweat, and tears of trying to make something look good, and the skills I developed as a result of the training did not go to waste. Instead, I funneled these skills and energy towards content creation here on this very channel, Twisted51. Remember how I said Geometry Dash would help me get one step closer to reaching my childhood dreams? Well, surprise! Being a YouTuber was my goal ever since I was a kid, and that dream was slowly taking shape. But sorry to ruin the good mood because around this time was when COVID hit. Everybody was forced to socially isolate and stay at home. And me, being a young teenager, did what any reasonable young teenager would do at this time, and I developed a League of Legends addiction. And I decided that this was my calling. I'm going to be a League of Legends YouTuber. I'm Korean, it's in my blood, okay? I made my first ever YouTube video, the League of Legends experience. It took 3 months to script, edit, record, and voice over the entire thing. And I continued to upload League of Legends videos, and okay, to be fair, for my first couple YouTube videos, they did okay, I guess. I mean, a couple hundred views on my first few videos. It was clear that I was better than the average beginner for this whole content creation thing. And I was using the same brain that guided me for building Geometry Dash levels, filling in the negative space in thumbnails, thinking about where to position the subjects while editing, using fonts that are basically unreadable, just like what I did in Geometry Dash. You did good. It was clear that the videos were rough around the edges, but I love content creation. To be completely honest, I haven't really felt passionate about doing, well, literally anything in my life. I was a smart kid in school, you know, I got the genetic, but nothing has ever scratched my brain quite like content creation has. I kept grinding, pumping out more and more videos, driven purely by sheer passion, willpower, and caffeine. But you know, while I was passionate and did love content creation with all of my heart, after the 20th flop, you kind of start getting a little annoyed. Yo! 50 views? That's like better than my past 5 other videos. I'm gonna jump off a bit. It is no secret that YouTubers are partially motivated by the numbers they see on their videos. The views, the likes, the subscribers. As much as we say don't let these numbers define you as a human, We let these numbers define us as humans. And when those numbers are consistently hitting the double digits max, you get a little demotivated, okay? After 3 years of content creation, my highest viewed video had about 9,000 views. Not bad, but after 3 years, I was hoping for something a little better. I realized that something needed to change. And in my mind, I had two choices. I can keep doing what I've been doing for the past 3 years, making League of Legends slot videos and whatever this is. It's not my best work. Or I can change it up. I sat down one night and just thought about what I could do differently. And then I remembered my time playing Geometry Dash as a sweet little boy. Why did I write that? I mean, it's my most played game. The time I spent racing Jeng or creating levels, the good times I had while playing the shitty $3 mobile game. And although I haven't booted up the game in about 3 years at this point, I thought, well, I might as well try. I'm gonna upload a Geometry Dash video and see how it does, all right? So I put together my first Geometry Dash YouTube short. It was about a level called Bloodbath and the rivalry between Riot and Cyclic. I wrote the script, edited it, and posted it. And then it fucking blew up. 200,000 views. I couldn't believe it. And all YouTubers know the rule. If something works, you keep doing it. I started posting Geometry Dash content now. I was officially a Geometry Dash YouTuber. I grinded short after short, scripting, editing, and voiceovering every single detail about these videos all by myself. And literally on my third Geometry Dash short titled Horror Levels in Geometry Dash, honestly, I didn't think much of it. I mean, I thought it was a decent short, but the video kept growing and growing and growing. And then 2 million views on my third Geometry Dash video. I was riding this crazy momentum. I vowed that I would post a short at least 5 times a week, which in recent times has not been going so hot. People from the Geometry Dash community would actually message me on Discord, people that I remember watching back in the day. I started playing the game again, getting immersed in the community. I am not the League of Legends guy no more. I am now the pink cat guy. I loved making shorts. The dopamine of getting a video to 1 million views was absolutely addicting. This was my dream. Ever since I was a kid, just like every other kid, I wanted to be a YouTuber. I remember watching Ryan Higa when I was like 5 years old thinking that I really want to do that. And today marks around the 1 year mark from my very first Geometry Dash short. I remember one random day in high school, so about 5 years ago, I was talking to my friend about how much time I spent on Geometry Dash, which was around 1,000 hours. And he said, "You wasted 1,000 hours of your life." That motherfucking hater. But thanks to the power of hindsight, I could say that he was wrong. All those hours on an iPod, losing to Jeng, forcing my brother to beat Polargeist, rotting in the editor for my level Fairy Cave. Yeah, that wasn't a waste. That was me accidentally training for this moment right here. Little 10-year-old me downloading an impossible game ripoff, and somehow that stupid decision led me to where I am today. Thank you for watching.